control, again, as a pretext to invade Pakistan. I mean, this is getting wild. Now it's 100% clear what's happening. Doesn't mean Hosni Mubarak's good. It doesn't mean that Muammar Gaddafi's good. It doesn't mean that the people running Saudi Arabia are good. No, they're bad. And it's a political climate, an atmosphere, where the globalists can knock the dominoes over. The question is, why do they want that? Now, I haven't talked or even read in the last few days, I probably should have, but I get so busy, what Wayne Madsen thinks about this. I know he predicted a lot of this years ago and again months ago on the show, formerly a anti-submarine warfare expert, worked then in the NSA and a lot of other classified areas. He's written for some of the biggest magazines and newspapers in the nation, WayneMadsenReport.com. He reports on national security and international issues for major TV stations around the world. And he also reports routinely from what's happening at the National Press Club. So I don't know what he's going to say about what's happening in Tripoli or what's happening in Egypt or this domino effect. Or Saudi Arabia handing out $37 billion in a single day to people yesterday, and the king having to come back to Saudi Arabia from his European pleasure palaces, worried about overthrow. But this, I believe, is the clear double cross of the more friendly Arab regimes, or the more neutral ones, to put things into an order out of chaos situation. And I predicted they would then blame the depression on this, and now I saw headlines the last 2 days that, oh, this is going to kill the recovery. Oh, we're going to have a depression because of this. Oh, the oil prices are going up because of this. No, the underlying situation is dollar devaluation. So for the next 30 minutes, we're joined by Wayne Madsen and Wayne Madsen Report. Wayne, you've heard me in the last 3 minutes break down my analysis of this and the horror of the prospect of UN, NATO, U.S.-backed forces going into Tripoli. Give us your take on what you think.
Well, I still believe that what we're seeing in North Africa, especially North Africa, was triggered by the same forces that triggered the anti-government, anti-austerity moves in Greece, where we had riots there again over the austerity measures, the budget cuts in the last few days. We saw it in Spain. We saw it in the UK. And I think this is what really was seething under all the other problems we had in North Africa. Now, we know from the State Department cables from WikiLeaks that obviously the NGOs, the Soros-backed groups, the National Endowment for Democracy, the Freedom House, and these other NGOs that are always in there trying to stir up the opposition, were involved in all these countries.
Oh, they admit they are. They're bragging now, Wayne.
Yeah, but I think where they miscalculated is they thought with the Jasmine Revolution in Tunisia and the Lotus Revolution in Egypt that these were going to be soft landing type changeovers like they saw in Ukraine and a few of these other soft revolutions. But they miscalculated because of the unemployment and the high food prices and the disgust, especially amongst the young people, about these regimes. These exploded, and I believe that they're not under control anymore. We know there were signs that Gaddafi last month was thinking about succession. Now, his son Saif al-Islam Gaddafi, I've written about this. This guy was a sweetheart as far as the elites of Europe were concerned. He's a good friend of Lord Peter Mandelson, the former British business secretary. He's very good friends with Prince Andrew, and also very good friends with Nathaniel Rothschild, the scion of the Rothschild family. This is the crowd he traveled with. He's a graduate of the London School of Economics. But now we heard him defending his father on TV, talking about, you'll be, shot if you are caught with weapons and all this type of thing. This is out of control. I was in Gaddafi's tent in Tripoli in October '09, and it was the 40th anniversary of the coup, which he calls his Green Revolution, and overthrew the king. But I find it interesting, last month, Gaddafi gave back royal property seized from the king's family, this King Idris al-Senussi. Now, the Senussis were from Benghazi, Cyrenaica. That's the area that is broken away. So I believe that Gaddafi probably understood that there were rumblings in Libya that his days were short, and he was looking at succession, possibly a role for the former royal family who he had deposed in '69. Now, we don't know where they stand, but I think it's very instructive that the flag being used by the opposition is the royal flag.
Okay, Wayne, we got you on short notice. You're on your cell phone. I'm going to wait a moment till it comes back and gets a little bit better. But the big issue I want to bring up to you, what do you make of Obama's incredible speech? I mean, this is war under another name. He says, we're preparing an intervention. We're preparing international forces to go in. And now they're reporting, the Wall Street Journal and others, that Gaddafi's, and I believe it, I know he's got it, heavily armed, is going to try to use nerve gas on him. And I mean, this is a nightmare.
Well, the Wall Street Journal, I'm always skeptical about them. They're neocons from the word go. We also have his justice minister who resigned saying that Gaddafi was totally behind Lockerbie when we know to the contrary it was Iran. Of course, George H.W. Bush found it convenient to blame Gaddafi because he didn't want Iran getting involved with plans to go into Iraq during the lead up to Desert Storm. So there's a lot of people who have left Gaddafi's regime who, for one reason or another, they're sort of like those old Soviet defectors. They always would overstate the threat. Or
it's like all the Iraqi defectors that we now know were paid to lie.
Oh, absolutely, like curveball. So I would take some of what these guys are saying with a grain of salt about Gaddafi having bio and chemical weapons. After all, he allowed inspectors in there under the Bush administration, the last administration, to turn all that stuff over. So these people are obviously trying to score political points more with the Western media. But it was quite clear when I was in Tripoli that Gaddafi, who gave a speech today where he's talking about he's no different than the Queen of England or the King of Thailand, he's just a figurehead. He has no real power. Well, when you first land in Tripoli, you see his portrait is everywhere. Huge portraits on the sides of buildings, over the overpasses on the highways going into Tripoli, in hotels, in lobbies, in offices, everywhere. You find Gaddafi looking down at you, and
kind of like Janet Napolitano on the high-tech right. Telescreens going in 9,000 locations. Another telltale sign of classical corruption in 1984 societies.
Right, and it's clear that this was a dictatorship, a cult of personality like in North Korea with Kim Jong-il. And the other thing I noted is people even close to Gaddafi would talk about him. It was clear that even the people in his regime did not like him. As a matter of fact, I asked him when I was in his tent, I said, what's with that guy? I know he doesn't drink, but he's clear is he on medication, thinking maybe the guy's ill, and they just smiled. He said hashish. Apparently, so he said today, oh, these kids out there involved in the rebellion are on hallucinogenic drugs when he should look in a mirror and he'd see the picture of somebody's on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can look at him, Wayne, and tell that he's on some hardcore drugs.
Yeah, it has been for quite a long time. Now, back when we had an Air Force base at Wheelus outside of Tripoli, now he threw that base out in '69 when he took over, but when he was Sergeant Gaddafi, he used to make regular runs up to the Class 6 store at the base. That's where the booze place, and he would load up his gin and scotch and haul it back to Tripoli. Now, he said it was for the senior officers in the King's Army, but I also heard from people who were at Wheelus that he grabbed a few of those bottles for himself. So Gaddafi is an enigma wrapped in an enigma, but there's even some questions about his mother being full-blooded Italian, so he may not be a pure-blooded Arab.
Wow. Well, we're going to come back and get into other facets of this, but studying the region and the other larger geopolitical ramifications, who are the different factions? What countries do you see that are going to fall next? What do you think about Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Yemen, even Jordan? We've got now riots flaring up in and around Israel and the West Bank and other areas, some rockets being fired, reportedly. I mean, it's like somebody lit the fuse and the bombs are starting to go off in a chain reaction. Wayne Madson's our guest. I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com.
Becoming a modern smoker is now easier and more cost-effective, thanks to LeSig. Traditional smokers the world over love LeSig. E-cigarettes with a look, feel, and taste of real cigarettes, but without the nasty smoke, ashes, or stains. LeSig is powered by revolutionary microelectronic technology. A small rechargeable battery and unique replaceable cartridge provide all the satisfaction and benefits of smoking without the smoke and all the hazards. See the large variety of LeSig e-cigarette supplies and accessories at LeSig.com. That's LECIG.com. LeSig is competitively priced, comes with the best customer service, a 30-day warranty, and satisfaction guaranteed. What a great gift idea. For a 10% discount, mention GCN when you call 870-518-4307. That's 870-518-4307. Ask for fast, free same-day shipping. Order online at LeSig.com and use promo code GCN at checkout. That's LECIG.com. LeSig, for today's modern smoker.
When making important financial decisions, you should always know the facts. That's why Midas Resources is willing to pay you to read the facts. Midas Resources, a team of hand-picked financial specialists with decades of financial experience who are ready to provide you with state-of-the-art, up-to-date financial services. Midas Resources offers a host of services and stands behind their products. In fact, if you call and order their free Midas report, Midas Resources will pay you. This detailed report will provide you with financial history on the safest and most profitable areas to invest in. If you read the report, Midas Resources will send you a free Walking Liberty silver $50. So what are you waiting for? Get the facts and call Midas Resources toll free at 888-292-2709. That's 888-292-2709. And remember, if you read the Midas report, you'll receive a free Walking Liberty silver $50.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
Is it really possible to get out of debt without payment plans or attorneys? 18 years ago, we developed a program that has made thousands debt-free in just 90 days. It's called Zero Debt in 90 Days, and it works for all credit card debt, medical bills, even collection lawsuits.
When I first joined, I was being sued. So I used the program methods, and after filing one piece of paper, the collection lawsuit was dismissed.
With Zero Debt in 90 days, your success is guaranteed in writing. There is no other program of its kind. Don't be alone when creditors gang up on you. Let our team of experts provide the resources to fight back and stop creditors in only 90 days, guaranteed. Prevent wage garnishments, bank levies, and stop collection calls with our proven program. Call Zero Debt in 90 days now, 800-477-9256, and ask for free information from an expert who also completed our program. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
All right, Wayne, finishing up with this, specifically